Are you in favor of shakeout runs or not really fond of them? Let's weigh the pros and cons. So I'm here on a little shakeout, obviously, in Transylvania, Romania, close to Dracula's castle that you can see behind me. So let's start with the purpose of the shakeouts. Theoretically, it's meant to sort of activate your muscles, increase your blood flow, activate your neuromuscular system. In practice, I would say it's perhaps more a tradition or a ritual, let's say, than anything else. Because everybody does it, your friends do it, whatever, your teammates. You've seen people doing it on YouTube, and you think, yeah, I should do a shakeout run because you don't want to risk missing anything. You don't want to do less than your mates or your competitors. So it sort of reassures you that you've done everything that was in your hands before the race. On the other hand, it can be argued that you actually don't really need it. It won't make a lot of difference to your race. This activation thing is not like your body is completely deactivated and you need to switch it on again, especially since the shakeout is supposed to be a short, easy, very slow run, so you're not really switching any button. And also, if like me you're traveling for a race, like I'm here in Romania to run the Bucharest half marathon on Sunday, you're likely to be doing some tourism if you stay for a few days, so you're likely to be walking a lot. So chances are you'll be walking like 20 or 30,000 steps a day, visiting whatever the city or whatever place. So no need for extra running or extra activation. And on that same note, beware that you might end up running too much in your shakeout, because it's very easy to get carried away and run more than you should, more than intended, just by exploring, or you lose reference of the time, you don't know the place, so, or you might even get lost. So be aware of that. Although indeed shakeouts can also be a way to explore around the place where you're staying, explore the city a little bit further, discover places. So yeah, that's also a good thing on the positive side. And of course the shakeout run is often a social run too. You get to know new people, you get to talk. It's often a way to sort of tame your nerves and anxiety pre-race. Alright, continuing with my little jaunt to Transylvania. I'm now in the quaint medieval city of Brașov, trying this typical Romanian dessert called papanashi. Wow, really worth it. If you ever come here, you should definitely try it. But if you're going to do a shakeout run, beware that it might be somewhat risky. First of all, there is a risk that you catch a cold, like me, if you choose to run in a freezing cold place and you're not really prepared for it. But apart from that, there's also a risk that you might injure yourself if you push too hard in like you're doing strides and you want to push too hard. It happened to me once. I tore my psoas muscle just a couple of days before the race. There's also a non-negligible risk that you might, get hit by a car or something like that, because typically you would do unless you're at home, you do a shakeout run in a place that you don't know the driving habits. It's very possibly not very well prepared for running, like I was doing this morning. There was no pavement, lots of cars, a lot of traffic, no real good place to run. So I had to be very focused and pay a lot of attention to where I was going. And if you're running in a city, yeah, it can be tricky. The local traffic habits. I mean, if you're, for example, from the UK and you're used to people driving on the left-hand side, and you go to Europe where people drive on the right-hand side, it's very easy to get distracted and look on the wrong side. So it might end up being dangerous. Of course, if you're running in your own city, that should not be a problem. Yeah, you might also make people very upset because you're running on a cycle path, for example, like happened to me in Poland. There was no other place to run, so I was on cycle path, which is very common in Valencia. People are very tolerant to that, but not in Poland. And then of course there is the risk that you might hurt yourself because you're running in places that you don't know and you're not paying a lot of attention, so you might slam your foot into a root or a pothole and damage your toenails, or you might twist your ankle in cobblestones, or like happened to me last year, you might crash your knee into an unexpected bollard that you hadn't seen because you were not paying attention. Anyway, what you must absolutely do if you choose to go on a shakeout run is your usual warm-up and mobility routine. Don't skip it just because it's a short, easy run. And of course, on the positive side, if you choose to do your shakeout in the same city as the race, then that's an opportunity for you to sort of preview the race course. And in case you suffer from GI issues, then a shakeout run can potentially help with the gastrointestinal function, in case you need that before the race, I mean. One thing to definitely take into account if you're gonna do a shakeout run while traveling is that you're gonna need extra gear, especially extra shoes. You cannot do your shakeout run in your racing shoes. So you definitely need to plan ahead and think about that beforehand. Also bear in mind that not all cities are equally well prepared for running. Many cities are not well equipped. They don't have wide and flat pavements or sidewalks. Many times you're gonna have to dodge cars and traffic lights. So it's not always easy to find good running spots, especially near where you're staying. It may require quite a bit of planning and researching ahead. So you may need to take public transport to get to a runnable place and then come back, which in turn means that there is more logistics implied, like you need to find proper transport, you need to take money with you. It also means you're gonna spend more time going out and back, so you might get cold, so you may need to take an extra jacket with you, all sorts of things. By the way, I'm now in the city of Sinaia, in the Carpathians mountain range, where the famous Palace Castle is located. I'll go there in a moment. As you can see, this is very much uphill, which I'm not used to at all. So let's say it's good. It's a good opportunity for me to train up and downhill. So I'm gonna burn a few more calories, that's okay. In fact, on a shakeout run, you're likely to burn around between 200 and 300 calories probably, if you don't go crazy. Which gives you a little bit of room for eating a little bit more. Like I guess I will have burnt by now the papanashi dessert I had before. That's good to consider, especially if you're on a carb loading scheme. But also consider that you'll have to do your shakeout run at the very least 24 hours before the race to give enough time for recovery, because recovery and having fresh legs is much more important than the shakeout and, you know, activation. That in turn means that you're gonna have to wake up quite early to do it in the morning, probably. Not to mention that your shakeout run is likely to clash with your family's plans and schedule. And I cannot close this video without saying that shakeout run is probably more appropriate for longer distances like marathon and half marathon than it is for 5k or 10k. I have to dodge cobblestones here and potholes, essentially because your taper is more intense when it comes to longer distances. So you're more likely to feel like your legs are a bit lame and feel the need for activation. So that's it for me today. Now you may ask, why am I running a shakeout run? Well, you know, I had this little excursion to Transylvania and there are 3 stops with quite a bit of time in each, and I was not intending to visit the castles because I've seen many, so I had a bit of time and I thought I might as well explore the surrounding. And also, of course, because I take my job as a content creator very seriously, so it's my commitment to show you how I combine running, racing and traveling. So in the end, you decide, shakeout or no shakeout. Let me know what you think. Tell me if I missed any important point. And yeah, take care. I see you in the next video. And in the meantime, if you run around, remember to look around. Ciao.